Lori, did something happen between you and Joy again? Could you please just leave her alone already? I'm getting really tired of the both of you always getting into your cat fights all the time. I honestly don't get why you're always trying to pick fights with the poor woman. It's like you're being way too overprotective of me or something, right?
Philip, you have it all backwards there. All I'm trying to do is keep you happy.
Then leave my girl alone and let her be happy too. She's already told me once before not to talk to you anymore about all of this. But I can't just start ignoring you now. I would like for all three of us to get together as a family, which means you have to start being nice to her so that she doesn't say that to me.
What? Joyce said that to you?
Yes, she did. She would like to get a little bit of distance from you, so she told me to stop talking to you for a while. She doesn't even want me texting with you anymore. If she were to even know about me texting you now, she would be pissed.
She's saying stuff like that now? That girl. She must think that she can get away with anything. Philip, I really don't think that a person like her is good for you to be with all your life. I get that you guys are both married now, so this might be hard to listen to. But I would really like for you to think things through a little bit more about your future with her.
Oh, come on now. You're going to start talking to me about that? Honestly, I'm getting really tired of how overprotective you are of me.
I'm not trying to protect you as your older sister. I know that she is bad news, and I don't want you to give up your entire future for her when she's going to tear it all down at some point. That's the kind of problem you're dealing with right now. She is the kind of girl that thinks she can hide anything from anyone and do whatever she wants without any punishment. So I think you should do something about her now, before it's too late.
Oh, come on already. I'm tired of you always telling me what you think about my relationship with Joy. Just let the two of us be happy with the way things are and go away.
I think it is a very good thing of you to be protective of your wife, Philip. I really do. That is seriously one of the best things anyone can ask for from a husband. But I think you put too much faith into that girl, and that faith is going to stab you in the back someday.
What the hell are you talking about? What are you trying to say about Joy right now? I've already decided that for the rest of my life, I will be with Joy and will never leave her. So you can just shut up and let me love my wife the way I want to. I'm sure it sucks having your sister-in-law hate on you all the time, but I would like for you to stop bugging her and to stop talking to me about how to handle my marriage.
This isn't about that. You have no idea what the problem here is yet because you keep trying to avoid the truth. And the truth revolves around the kind of person that girl of yours really is.
I know who she is, and I know what you're trying to get at here. You probably think that she's nothing but rotten because of that debt she got myself and I into without ever telling me anything before, right? Well, all of that has been taken care of between her and me.
That is not what I'm on about. I mean, I guess that does have something to do with the greater picture in many ways. And when it came to that debt, the only reason it's no longer a problem for you and her is because you went and paid it all off with your own savings, right? I don't like anything about that either.
That's what I'm saying. I knew that's what this was all about. Just leave it be. None of my relationships or my marriage to her has anything to do with you. That was all money I had made myself, and I was 100% okay with giving it up for her to get out of that debt. That wasn't your money I gave to her, so quit your complaining and let us be.
I never said I was complaining about that anymore, though. That is just a piece of the bigger picture that I'm trying to show you right now. There are plenty of other issues about that girl that you need to understand, so the same things don't happen again.
What are you talking about? Are you really that upset about the happiness she and I share? I thought that this marriage to Joy would have brought you the most joy. But just because there was this tiny issue between her and me, you had to come in and blow it all out of proportion. No wonder she can't become close with you now and hates you. I feel so bad for the poor woman.
You're not listening to me, Philip. Come on. If I could have it my way, I would love to grow closer to your wife and become a really good sister-in-law for her. But it's her that chose to start hating me first, and also...
And Joy was trying to become close with you, Lori, but you weren't playing nice with her at all. And every night she stayed up crying, thinking that there would never come a day where you'd accept her as my wife. Joy is a very soft and kind woman, and you came in and destroyed her heart.
I did not. I accept her as your wife, and that's why I never complained about you guys getting married. But I've started to see that you are only seeing the surface of her. She is tricking you right now, okay? I want to tell you the hard truth right now, so would you please just listen to me? I'd like to do it in person, actually, so could you please make time to come and see me?
I'm tired of playing your terrible games, Lori. All you're gonna try to do is make me believe in your lies. I don't want to hear you anymore. I want to do what I want with my wife without some witch trying to ruin everything for us. I was a real idiot for thinking that you would accept the love Joy and I have with one another.
Stop that, Philip. You keep mistaking what I'm saying. I really want for you to be happy, and that requires you to just listen to me. If you just give me a little bit of your time to talk in person, you will begin to see the entire picture.
Do you really think, as Joy's husband, I would want to sit here and listen to you talk crap about her? I already know that you're gonna lie to me. Joy would never do the kinds of things you're gonna tell me.
Just listen to me, Philip. I need to talk to you in person because it's all going to be a very hard pill for you to swallow. So please, give me an hour and I will explain everything to you about her.
Look, I already know that you just want to complain to me some more about my wife and make her look like the bad guy in all of this. You really think I want to see you right now? You're just going to make things worse for everyone here, and I don't want that. Do you really want her and I to break up that badly?
Philip, that is not at all what I want for you to do. Listen and trust what I'm saying as your older sister.
I am never going to leave that woman because she's the only woman I will ever love. So just shut the hell up and go.
Fine, I'll do that then. I'll shut up and stop trying to tell you the truth about her. But just remember that I warned you.
I don't need to hear your baseless warnings anymore, even if you are my older sister. Just stop it with your yapping. Leave Joy and me alone.
I will. Excuse me, Lori. Would you please stop saying the most ridiculous things to my husband for me? Philip is my husband after all, so you should know better than to mess with our marriage. And could you please stop it with your over-attachment to your little brother? I've already told you once to stop talking to him, and I've said the same thing to him as well. I understand that, but that last conversation he and I had, he was the one who messaged me first. That is not what I'm worried about right now. I told you not to talk with him. So even though he may have been the one to message you first, you went and responded to him, which is a big no-no. You're blaming me then? I do happen to be his sister, you know. I would rather you stop telling me what to do when it comes to the relationship he and I have. I know. And I know that you don't accept our marriage to one another. You would love it if he and I got a divorce, right? Listen, Joy, I never said anything about wanting you both to get a divorce. But if I were to want something like that for you both, then that means I have very good reasoning for that. And that is why you're being so cautious around me, right? You want to make sure I don't say anything out of line to Philip about you, right? Huh? There's no way I'm worried about you in that regard. It's not like you have anything to say to him about me, right? Because if you did have something to say to him, which you might have, then you would end everyone's happiness, including your own. And then you'd be ruining any sense of joy your little brother has ever had, right? Hey, you listen here. The only one who's done anything that can rip the joy away from my brother is you. So what do you think you're doing, making it seem as though everything would become my fault? I'm not an idiot, Lori. I'm doing everything I can to make sure these secrets of mine never have to come to light in front of him. So I promise to never hurt him and take away his happiness. If he were to find out, of course his life would be ruined, but that's why I'm not saying anything. Are you kidding me? Why were you even able to stab my brother in the back like that? What you've been doing is worse than anything I have ever seen in my life. And you know that, don't you? Yet you continue to hang on to my brother for some reason, and I have a few guesses as to what those reasons are. If you're going to say that about me, then you're in the same boat, right? You saw what was going on then when we ran into one another. And yet all you did was smile and walk away from me like nothing had ever happened. I know that I didn't say or do anything at the time, but I was in shock at the time and am still very much aware of what was going on there. And as long as I know what you're doing behind his back, I cannot support you being his wife. And that's why I made it pretty clear as to what I want. If you and I put some distance between one another, you'll begin to forget about what happened and everything will be just fine. You'll be able to get back to enjoying your life instead of complaining about someone else's, and Philip and I can get back to being husband and wife. Why would you ask for something like that? Well, so far you haven't spilled the truth to him, right? And the reason for that is because you don't want to hurt him, just like I don't want to hurt him. Honestly, if you say anything to him about what you know, you'll be making yourself look like the villain. Well, whatever your reason is for remaining silent, I am genuinely thankful for it. Joy, you've just made it crystal clear to me that I don't want you guys to remain married. You are not good enough for a man like my brother. Allow me to give it to you straight. Please divorce my brother and get away from our family. Huh? And you just thought that I'd say, sure, okay, to something like that? You've never really cared for him and I getting married, so why should I divorce him now of all times? I'm used to you being a total witch now, so you telling me to divorce him isn't going to change anything. Then that means my prior thoughts as to why you were married to him were correct. You only want him as your husband so that you can use him, right? Now you're just trying to make me look bad. It's because of a woman like me that Philip is able to have the wonderful life that he has now. So please, don't feel as though it's just me getting anything out of this marriage. I'm sure he's happy right now about being married to you. But I know the secrets you have, and I know that you are not the kind of person he thinks you are, and that is making him happy. Why don't you just shut up and leave us youngsters be? Are you calling me old? I already went and made sure Philip blocked your phone number so that you can no longer talk to him. Thank goodness you didn't say anything to him in the last conversation, or else blocking you would have made no difference. And due to the way you handled that discussion with him, he was more than happy to block you. I'm sure things were getting pretty heated then, right? That was a close one. Now, all I have left to do is make sure you never come around us again. You're really going to do that? If you have a problem with what I plan on doing, then how about you and I meet in person and talk about it face to face? I'll make sure in person to show you who the boss is and why you should never get involved in someone else's marriage. Are you trying to threaten me now? Well, whatever, I get what you're saying. If that's the kind of way you want to settle things, then sure, let's meet in person and chat about this.
Yo! What the hell, Lori? Was there really any reason for you to take things this far? I was thinking that today could finally be the day for the three of us to all make up with one another. But now you've shown me what kind of person you really are.
What? Philip, what are you talking about? It's been such a long time since you and I have last talked to one another, right? Didn't you block me a while back?
So you've done this to me because of that? There has to be a limit to your childishness. I can't believe you're even my sister.
What? Wait, seriously? What are you talking about right now? What ended up happening?
Stop playing dumb. We just came to the wedding and there wasn't a seat reserved for Joy or me here. I'm your only brother, your only sibling, and this is how you're going to embarrass me now? You're no longer my sister.
What? Seriously, Philip, what are you talking about? You guys were the ones that replied by saying you couldn't come, right?
What? What do you mean? Wait, are you actually being honest right now about that?
Yes, of course I'm being honest about something like that. That's why you both don't have any seats reserved for you here. I was trying to call and text you even to see why you guys responded by saying you weren't coming, but because you had blocked me, I couldn't get anything from you. So I just assumed you both were being serious and made sure not to make you guys guests here.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Does this mean that Joy actually... She told me she replied back to the RSVP on the invitation you sent us.
Well, that's what I kind of assumed would happen. You and her came together to my wedding today, right?
No, actually. Today, Joy ran back to her parents' house because one of them came down with something, so she wanted to be with them. So she couldn't come with me.
Did she make it sound like she had plans of coming to my wedding today?
I was kind of feeling the same way as you. I wondered why she wanted to come to your wedding, but ended up going back to her parents' house because one of them became sick. She's never done that for one of them before. As she was leaving the house, she did say one thing, though, under her breath. Something about how she'd never go to the wedding of someone who bullies her.
I see now.
She told me not to go to your wedding before she stepped out the door. I can kind of understand what she was getting at there, since we did have that whole conflict before with one another. But you're my older sister after all, and I didn't want to miss your wedding of all things. You were there for our wedding, even though you didn't like the idea of me marrying her. So I thought I should go. I knew that staying home would be bad, so I came all the way out here.
So this means that Joy still thinks that you stayed home today and she vanished off to somewhere that might not even be her parents' house?
But she told me she went to her parents' house, so that's where she has to be. Stop trying to make it sound like she'd be going out to have an affair or something right now. You're only making yourself look even more like a bully.
Let me just ask, but what happened 2 weeks ago on Saturday? She ran off to somewhere, didn't she?
What are you asking me now? Saturday, 2 weeks ago? Well, at that time, she told me she had something to do over at her parents' house, so she went back there to meet one of her nephews or something. Why are you asking me about that?
Is that so? Then what about the week before that?
I don't even remember what happened that week. But I guess she did go back to her parents' place that week as well. She told me she had to go and help her parents with something, I think. Why are you asking me about all those things?
If that's what she's been telling you, then please take a look at these documents I'm about to email you. I wasn't planning to send you any of that just yet, but... Well, you were the one that started talking to me again, so now's my only chance to show you the truth.
What? You're sending me an email right now? I don't think you and I have ever emailed one another before. I just got something from you.
So, I made sure to include attachments to pictures that are evidence to what I know. I'll leave all of that for you to use in whatever way you'd like, Philip.
What the hell is all of this? These all have to be of someone else, right? This one says it was taken 2 weeks ago on that Saturday. Who is Joy with? Why is she holding hands with one of my friends?
I can understand you not even wanting to believe the pictures that I've sent you, but I couldn't just let you go off with her and let her ruin your life. So I hired someone to follow her, and this is what they came up with. That's why you have all those photos and documents to use as evidence of her unfaithfulness to you.
You hired someone to follow her? Why would you do something like that, Lori? I'm sure these are all just photoshopped or something, aren't they? Why would you spend money to do something like this to Joy?
If you're really that worried about those pictures being photoshopped, then send them to someone to be verified.
But why? Was there something suspicious that she was doing? Or could this have been because of how much you hate her?
I do not have the time to go and do all of that for you, even if you're my brother. The reason I hired someone to get the evidence you needed is because back in the day, I ran into her a lot at a few different resorts. And every time I saw her, she was with that friend of yours, holding his hand or cuddling with him in the lobby.
What? You were running into her at hotels?
That was all happening months ago. But every time I was going out, it was with my friends who wanted to stay during those nights where the resorts have insanely good deals. And it seems your wife and friend had the same idea. That's why I was always running into her with your friends there. The first time I saw her was when they were on a couch in the lobby making out, and I wondered how any self-respecting person could do that in a hotel lobby. But when I walked around to get a better look at who was doing it, it was your wife. She really chose the perfect spot to have a fun time with your friend.
What? So things like that were what started this? What did Joy say to you the first time you saw them together?
She started to laugh it all off by saying hi to me and explaining to him that I was a friend of hers. But later on, she confronted me again and threatened me to never ever tell you. She was the kind of girl that would slam her hands into the wall as a show of force. I never thought something like that would be happening.
What? She did that in order to threaten you?
I was in disbelief, and I'm sure you're feeling the same now because you always thought she was this soft and sweet little girl, right? Her looks and her true character are two completely different things, right?
I don't want to believe you.
Well, I'm sure you don't. But here's the thing. It is far too early to be surprised about anything.
What?
There was another time a while back where she threatened me. She started to go on about how she wanted to see me in person so that she could teach me who was boss. I was wondering what she had to say to me when I went out to see her, and there she told me that if I were to ever tell you what I saw, she would crush me and let me bleed out. Luckily, I had my audio recorder on me, and it was set to record when that conversation happened. I'll send you that audio recording right now, by the way.
She said she was going to crush you and then let you bleed out? But you're her husband's family member.
Well, she wasn't bluffing because not too long after that, she found me coming up some stairs and pushed me with all her body weight down them. I had to be in physical therapy for a month after that, after getting out of the ER.
Huh? That has to be a lie, right?
But what if it's not? Thankfully, that day, the person I hired to follow her was behind us. And so they were able to get photos and video of what she did to me. Which means I now have clear evidence of her pushing me down those stairs and almost killing me. I plan to tell the police about this once my wedding is over with, so that I no longer have to worry about her ruining my special day.
Are you sure? So this means she's really been a monster hiding in human skin?
Well, it's not too late to call her that. But now that you're aware of everything, it is up to you what you decide to do with that evidence. Although I recommend you get away from her now before I have to let the police loose on her.
No way. So you've known this was happening all along and chose to stay quiet?
Well, I was also threatened into staying quiet and later pushed down a flight of stairs. I was also worried that after telling you, you would never be able to get over what you found out. That's why I originally wanted to see you in person to talk about it to your face. I thought that by at least telling you in person, you would have someone to comfort you right away. That's why I tried so hard to get you to come out and listen to me.
So that's what you were trying so hard for.
You've always been the type of person where once you've fallen in love with someone, you become blind to everything else. And I knew just how much you loved her. That's why I wanted to be with you face to face before telling you the whole truth. But you never did give me the chance that I asked for.
So you've been thinking about me all this time. I'm sorry. I said so many horrible things. I'm going to divorce that bitch now.
And as your sister, I 100% agree with that choice. Now, as for this wedding, I'll go ask one of the staff to get you a seat and everything. But beware that after this wedding, I'm going to the police with all the evidence I have and will take Joy down. So please, once this wedding is over, divorce her and we can both send that beast back to hell together. After I had told and shown him everything he needed to know about the true person Joy was, Philip took a moment to cool his head and then came to me asking for forgiveness while apologizing. But when it comes to Joy herself, things ended up a lot different. After having both the police show up at her place to arrest her and having my brother divorce her, she started to text me crying for forgiveness, but that's never going to happen. Once she's taken to court and has to hear from me there, I'll make sure to wring her dry of all the money she has to pay for both my medical bills and the pain she caused me. And after that, while she's spending time in jail for attempted murder, I'll make sure to never see her again. I know that things sure didn't turn out the way she expected because the only one that ended up with no joy at all was Joy herself and nobody else. Of course, I had to go through a month of physical therapy and have surgery done on one of my legs, but this outcome was exactly what I had hoped for. And my brother, who I really expected to be destroyed by all of this, wasn't too upset either, because not only did the evidence show that she had no feelings for him, but he came out of the divorce $30,000 richer. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.